Hello and welcome back to video 3. I'm James Carley, and I want to talk to you about why in-market leads is something that every company wants. So you're going to want to watch this video to the end. Are you ready? Let's get started. Every company in the United States, from a mom and pop to a Fortune 500, wants to generate more profits. I mean, as a business owner and an entrepreneur, that's the thing that keeps us up at night, right? We want to generate more profits for our business. But to generate more profits for your business, we all know you got to generate more sales. And to generate more sales, you need to generate more leads, right? So it's not hard for our clients to see that if someone is actively pursuing a purchase of what they sell, and they can market to that person and identify who they are by name, email, address, phone number, even a device ID, and then they're able to market to that same person across multiple channels like Facebook, Google, Amazon, direct mail, mobile, anything of that nature. It's not hard for our clients to see the benefit of being able to reach an in-the-market lead. But still, the reality remains the same. The reality is that there is tremendous power in people-based marketing. We've learned in the previous videos that we're able to target someone on an individual level, which is really beneficial because you're no more advertising to the haystack, but you're taking a very custom approach to target the needles. And you're preparing to target those needles because you know the steps that they're taking pre-purchase while they're researching and looking who to buy from. And it still all boils down to this. We use machine learning to better help us target people based on their behavior. And we covered really in detail how we know their behavior in video 2. But as a quick recap, just to make sure we're all on the same page, we can know that somebody's in market because we profile an individual pre-purchase. In other words, before they buy, and then we pay attention to their chronological path to purchase of when they do buy, and then we use that behavior as a model, right? We use that behavior as a buying signal so that we can have a lookalike behavior when we spot other people that are in market doing the same things. And so we use it as a legend, so to speak, so we can measure by knowing that if this person is taking these steps, this is what somebody does in our market when they're preparing to buy our product or service. But let's get to the nitty-gritty of this. Why, from a marketing perspective, is it knowing the top 3% of who's ready to buy in your market? Why is that such a good value proposition? Why does it have such high degree of appeal and exclusivity? And that's because being successful in today's economy, especially in today's economy, at some point, you're going to have to match a competitor on every dimension of value except one. And in that one thing that makes you unique, you're going to have to take it and fully excel in it. You're going to have to do it like no one else has ever done it before. And this is what I'm getting ready to show you here. The power of making your business more unique. The power of creating your company's own only factors. Now, with the center of appeal being want, these are things that people want in a high interest way, but if your business does not have some degree of exclusivity, tell me, what's going to happen to your value? What would happen to your value if everybody, or let's just say 50 companies, did and sold what you do? What would happen to your profits? Obviously, they will go down. Why? Because they can find whatever you have to offer any place that they go. So for a business to be successful today, you must find a way to have exclusivity inside of your business. Now, there's degrees of exclusivity, but I'm going to show you a way how you can make in-market leads the only factor inside of your business that's going to produce the profit that you're looking for. Right now, we have clients that are happily paying us a premium for our leads each and every month because they know we are the only company that can produce by name leads that are ready to purchase, leads that are actively pursuing a purchase of what they sell, regardless of the industry, regardless of the market, B2B or B2C. And we're able to do this because we're looking at online behaviors. I mean, on a daily basis, we're buying tons of raw data events. We're generating data. We're taking new data and we're uploading it to our existing data. I mean, we truly live in the matrix. But we do this with good reason, because we are properly qualified and prepared to help take your business to the next level regarding this technological shift that's coming. Now, this is your chance to get ahead. You don't want to be like some of the companies in the past, such as Kodak or Blockbuster, that saw the technology shift coming but were afraid to adjust and they were afraid to change. You see, technology, it's changing. It's getting smarter, it's getting faster, and more importantly, it's digitizing. And this is your chance to get ahead of the rest and really get ahead of the competition and build that edge, that competitive advantage that your business needs to make more profit. On a daily basis, I mean, speaking of big data, on a daily basis, we're collecting on anywhere on average between 10 to 15 billion pieces of online behavior. Now, that behavior is coming from anything from social media behavior, URL navigation, keyword search, content consumption, what kind of videos are they watching, what kind of sites are they visiting, blogs are they reading, down to what they just purchased. And now you may be asking yourself, why is that important? I'm sure you heard about the Internet of Things, and I wouldn't be surprised if soon it's called the Internet of Everything, when you got statistics by companies like Gartner that are predicting that in the next 3 years alone, anywhere between 50 to 100 million devices will be coming online. And here's the crazy part. With each one of those devices that come online, each device will have anywhere between 10 to 12 sensors on them. Now, a sensor, simply put, is a device that detects information, kind of like your Fitbit or an app nowadays. Now, when it's hooked up to a network, that device is going to be sending back all that data to a central point, kind of like beaming it up to the mothership, so to speak. So soon, when all these devices go online, we're going to be living in a 1 trillion sensor economy. Now, what does that mean for your business? It means that businesses, how they connect with consumers, is getting ready to change. Now, the question you got to ask yourself, are you ready for that change? And this is why we collect this behavioral data, because we understand data plus data equals insights. And you see, that's why we don't call ourselves a lead generation company. We call ourselves an insight company, because insight is something that every business wants. The insight on how to stop advertising to the haystack and to focus on the needles. The insight of how to turn an in-market lead into more profit for your business. The beauty and simplicity of what we do is this. Majority of businesses today that are marketing online are using some kind of cookie to retarget previous visitors or to drive traffic. But the problem with the cookie is that cookies are temporary. And in most cases, they're limited only to one channel and they're not usable anywhere else online. And that's why in-market leads are so valuable, because they're permanent. And not only are they permanent, they're portable and very easy to go multi-channel with. See, when you own a permanent lead, you have the ability to nurture and you have the ability to develop a relationship with that list or with that lead. And that's where the magic happens. Now, you might have heard the phrase, there's money, or the money is in the list. Well, I like to correct that and tell you the money is in the relationship that you have with that list. And when we talk to some of the biggest companies in the world, one thing we've noticed is that they're very good at starting conversations with prospects. They're very good at developing relationships before they sell. Like what I'm doing with you right now. I'm giving you massive value before you ever become a partner with me. And if you never became a partner with me, I've given you enough valuable content and insight that if you apply it, you can truly impact your business. But why do these companies develop a relationship? It's because what's at the heart of a relationship? It's trust. And when you first meet your prospect, you have to meet them where they are. And 9 out of 10 times, that starts online. And they're in a place in the beginning of the sales process where they don't know who you are. They're in a stage where, yes, they're actively pursuing what you sell, but they're researching what and if they're going to buy to solve their problem, or they're researching if they're going to buy to produce a result that they want but do not have. They're not at the stage yet where they made a decision on who they're going to buy from, but what we do is we use our system to capture these leads early enough in the sales cycle so a relationship can be built. So when they get to the point of who they're getting ready to buy from, our clients are sitting smack dab in the winner's circle and they're not on the clock because they have a permanent lead and it's not temporary. And if you're using cookies, you're on the clock. And if you want a permanent lead so you can take your time and have a conversation that turns into a sale, you need in-market leads. Now, because everyone knows conversations occur in steps. Whether you're selling online or you're selling offline, it's the same principle. People buy from people, right? And lead nurturing is a series of conversations. And if you don't know what lead nurturing is, let me break it down for you real quick because it's really important. Lead nurturing is the secret of lead generation. It's the underlying process that produces lead generation because you have to meet that prospect where they are. And 9 out of 10 times, usually it starts online. And if you're going to have to educate that customer on what they need to be aware of to make a smart buying decision. Now, the way you do that online is you do it via your ads, your content, your videos, and your articles. You do this because smart companies set the buying criteria. They define what value is inside of the marketplace. And I like to use my pizza analogy. So let's say, for an example, you never had pizza in your life, and the first time you had pizza, you went to an Italian restaurant. Now, anytime you have pizza going forward, it's going to be directly measured and stacked up against that first time experience. Well, in business, it's no different. And smart companies set the buying criteria inside of the marketplace so when a consumer goes to see some other business, they can obviously see how they stack up. So what you want to do is you want to help your prospects make a smart buying decision. And this is something that our clients benefit from because they're able to develop a relationship with a prospect before they buy because they're not on the clock. They have permanent leads, it's not temporary, and they're able to develop that relationship into a sale. Okay, so you see the power of owning a permanent lead. But there's another benefit of owning a permanent lead that I like to share with you that we touch bases on, but we really didn't go into detail. And that's how a permanent lead is also portable. Now, the fundamental difference between our data is that you pay once. Meaning if you use someone else's targeting, you're never going to stop paying because you're paying on a CPM basis and we're wholesale and you're paying pretty much retail. We charge our clients a flat fee one time for in-market leads, while other major platforms are charging you for every single impression. Now, that's how we're able to lower your first click costs by 50 to 75%. Because that's the difference between owning a permanent lead and paying on a usage basis. Because when you're paying on a usage basis, you never stop paying to target that one person. And like I said earlier, you can save anywhere from 50 to 75% off your first click costs if you target using in-market leads. Hopefully by now you can see why our clients are successful. They have a very unique approach to the marketplace, and they build relationships before they sell, which is very easy to do when you start with a list of names of ready-to-buy prospects in your market. These are your market's best profit opportunities. In closing, in-market leads are people who are ready to buy what you have to sell, but the question is, how do they determine who they're going to buy from unless your company meets them where they are? You need to truly add value to them and help them make a smart buying decision. So I encourage you to let in-market leads help set your business apart. And as always, make sure to watch the next video in our series or if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to call or just book some time on our online calendar, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.